What is happening there, citizens of the Reject Nation? Thank you so much for clicking on this video. What are we going to watch today, Michael Tesler, MJ Tesler?
The Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian, the Metachlorians? Episode 5 of what season, John?
Oh, it's season 3.
Including everyone in this intro, because I am a generous lord. Anyway, guys,
This is the way.
You know what to do. Leave a like. That's the proper way to go about business. I got to grab Grogu before we film this episode reaction. Also, subscribe and click the notification bell. At some point, and it's midnight right now, we got to shoot Bad Batch. I got to edit that as well.
The superior Star Wars series.
So keep a lookout for that. It'll come hopefully within the next 24 to 48 hours. Also, wanted to give a mention. It was supposed to arrive today, but we had just finished the design over the weekend. At shopzeroedition.com, that's where all of our Real Rejects merch is located. We have launched a new shirt that you can now purchase, and I'm telling you, it's one of Greggy's favorites, or should I say, Daddy's favorite. Look at it. We got here. Look at that. Joel, Daddy Pedro holding up baby Grogu. And I love the text. It says Child Protection Services. I think it's hilarious.
So
you get it, guys? Because Joel protects. You guys get it. I don't need to explain it. You're smart. But yeah, one of the best ways to support the channel is by getting these awesome designs. We got plenty of stuff over there. And full-length reaction watch-alongs at our Patreon page. Let's get this show on the road. I'm here for my hot springs.
Statue.
Where's the rail spur? We're going to be moving a lot of cargo in and out of here.
Grief cargo.
Hold on a second.
Got a bad feeling about this.
Pirates.
Witty Jack.
You get the citizens to safety. I'll handle this. Engineers, thank you. To be continued.
Engineers, I do not know your names. Wow, that's an imposing hologram.
All I see before me is a pampered nobleman dressed for the pomp of his wedding feast,
Alliteration.
gunning down my helmsman in cold blood. When he let down his guard on your planet,
He shot first.
Nice reference.
I thought you...
don't hail me again unless it's to surrender.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
What
You were
flag,
supposed to
what
be
flag?
Navarro's savior.
And now he will be its reckoning. Oh, lordy do.
Are they about to destroy Navarro?
Yep.
Oh my god, man.
Wow, that is an aerial bombardment. Those extras are having the time of their life right now.
Pod is ready. I will lead you to the launch site.
I won't abandon my city. We have to get the people to safety.
He's like Boba Fett.
More motivation.
Getting some final season of Game of Thrones vibes right now.
Yeah, sure.
Wow, that's imposing.
Oh, pirate.
The pirate.
Pirates of the
Look at that little
Caribbean, mate.
accordion in there too.
Yes.
Dope music.
This is epic.
I want to go to a Star Wars rave now.
Blow.
The situation is dire. I'm afraid that our planet will fall, and Shard will turn this into a pirate base.
A pirate bay.
Too
They
bad.
ask me, you don't make me look like an idiot.
I really thought Navarro was going to make it. They haven't returned a dispatch in weeks. They're swamped. They'll never get an answer in time.
It can't be. From Rebels.
They can't ignore me face to face.
I like your attitude.
Oh, I think it is.
You are right, Michael. It is Zeb. Steve Blum and everything.
You're going to need it.
Oh, he looks great.
It's
do this.
tying in.
No. Do not put any more stuff on that.
No shit, Tim Meadows.
You never once paid for droids. Not once.
Brilliant, John. That was great.
Captain Teva, we have been attacked by Pirate King Gorian Shard. You once offered that I might reach out to you.
We're gonna play this whole thing again.
I get the gist. It does sound concerning.
Excuse me.
Oh, no.
Have you ever heard of Navarro?
I have. Spent some time there, in fact. They're not a member planet.
Uh-oh. It's not good.
Oh.
Navarro has reported accounts of stormtroopers in the streets and TIE fighters openly flying above. Pirate King is attempting the same thing. These events could all be connected.
These are serialized.
Because I'm hearing Moff Gideon never made it to trial.
Perhaps the leaders of Navarro need to understand why becoming a Republic signatory is valuable.
By letting them suffer.
She is great.
You and your sword didn't see the light. You were captured.
No. I was liberated.
All these events, it's not a coincidence. And by the time it becomes big enough for you to act, it'll be too late.
This guy's like the head writer of the room. I need to lay this out for the audience.
The show is about something, guys. Wow. This escalated quickly.
There's a concerning lack of survivors. Visiting the Mandalorians?
He knows where they're located?
That's what I'm confused about. Unless he has a tracker or something.
Oh.
Captain Carson Teva!
How did you manage to find us?
Someone I served with in the rebellion is amongst your ranks.
Uh-oh. Awkward.
Thanks, R5. They're about to blow Navarro to hell. The New Republic has to know that the Empire is growing again.
And you think the Pirate King has something to do with it?
Interesting.
But something doesn't smell right. Look, it's not your fight. I just came to tell you your friend is in danger.
Then a monster eats him.
And that's the whole episode, just getting him back.
So what are you thinking?
He's right. I gotta help the guy. The enemy that decimated this very covert were Imperials, not Greef Karga's bounty hunters.
It's true.
Greef Karga is now a high magistrate and has offered me a tract of land. Perhaps it is time for us to live in the light once again, on a planet where we are welcome.
On a commune.
And our children can feel what it is to play in the sunlight.
With their helmets on.
And roasting their heads.
The Farmalorians.
I have the speaking hammer now.
I fought against Greef Karga. I saw many die to save the life of this one tiny foundling.
Oh, he feels bad.
And now we are asked to sacrifice yet again.
Yeah.
The question we should be asking ourselves is why? Why should we lay our lives down yet again?
He said it.
You gotta listen, Paz.
Because we are Mandalorians. He risked his life to save my son. Did not give up on my child's life, even when the rest of us did.
Wow, the speech took a turn.
Dang.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Well, they're just getting along. This is great.
We are Zion.
If everyone acts as they should, we can use the element to surprise and defeat an enemy that outnumbers us.
Nice shot.
Okay, this is gonna be amazing.
Navarro is an independent planet, and no longer under Remnant Imperial or New Republic protection.
Rise of the Mandalorians.
You lived there once, hiding in the sewers. But now, you can be heroes.
Just for one day.
90% of them die.
You can be martyrs.
That's okay. They repopulate really fast.
They do. Oh, poor droid.
This feels like Pirates of the Caribbean in Disneyland.
Yeah. I was thinking this is Disneyland.
Gotta be someone chasing somebody with a rolling pin.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's literally exactly that. Oh. Oh.
Aw.
Captain, there's a starfighter.
Aw.
It's the Mandalorian! gunnels.
Is that the same race as the Quill character?
They did work for the Empire, historically speaking.
Bold of you to return.
Why is Grogu there?
Blast that ship!
Understood.
And now it's Star Fox.
Be careful, my friend. They've got you outnumbered 10-1.
I like those odds.
I like those odds.
Yes.
That's a cool looking ship, though.
Yeah, right?
The Corsair's on me. Coast is clear.
Love the hammerhead design to it.
And the
Approaching drop point.
daunting looking paint
First
job.
team, prepare to drop.
I've been waiting for this trailer moment. Yes.
baby.
Let's go.
Nice.
Boom. What guy have like a scimitar?
Area clear. Team 2, you with us?
I want this video game, and I want it now.
Dude, open world Mando video game. Open worlds.
I'm over the flats with snub fighters in pursuit. You're clear to start your run.
Do a barrel roll.
Ah, baby.
Comrade-class fighter transport.
Stupid ass pirates.
Tell Vane and the fighters to reform for a counterattack.
Love this Power Rangers villain.
You won't get away this time.
Right, come in. The starfighter's a decoy. There's a secondary attack.
Looks like you'll get away this time.
Thanks, Salacious Crumbs, cousin.
We're boxed in.
Oh, great shot.
Wow. That gap. Oh my god. Oh, nice.
Get wrecked.
Full on Arnold T2 right there.
Yeah. Minigun, son. Oh.
God, that gotta hurt.
Damn, that one gun.
Engaging the gauntlet.
I love this pirate squadron. This is dope.
Pirates of the Outer Rim.
He's above you! He's below you!
He's everywhere. Oh, let's go.
Ouch.
Damn.
Oh my gosh.
Wowie.
All clear. Advance.
Dude.
Forward. Flank your position. Go, go, go.
This is everything I've ever dreamed of.
Oh, awesome. Damn.
But it's time to part ways.
Sir, we're down to our last engine. We have to retreat.
Focus fire on their last engine.
And send the ship crashing into town.
Oh, man. I'll make for a cool base.
Wow. That POV.
Epic downfall.
Wow.
Now that's what I call television.
Little Babu.
Mandalorians, I know that we have been on opposite sides in the past, but that is behind us.
Cool.
Hereby cede all land from the western lava flats to Bullock Canyon to the fine people of Mandalore.
Amazing.
You do now have a home. Welcome.
And Vizsla just shoots him.
The armorer wishes to speak with you.
Ruh-roh.
Oh my god. Is the armorer gonna seduce her?
Remove your helmet.
What? She is seducing her.
Let's get it. Oh.
Remove your helmet.
Wow.
You've broken the creed.
Leave.
Our people have strayed from the way. We must walk the way together. All Mandalorians.
What are you getting at here?
The old night owls.
I understand.
Bringing them on board.
I was taught that the mythosaur existed only in legends.
Oh.
It is a sign that the next age is upon us.
Yes, it is.
Mandalore must all come together.
Right now, under you.
We've walked both worlds. You are the one who can unite us.
Oh shit. Is she gonna make Bo challenge Din for the Darksaber?
That feels like a thing that would need to happen.
Bo-Katan Kryze is going off to bring other Mandalorians in exile to us.
But she shows her face.
Yes, she does.
Bo-Katan walks both worlds. She can bring all tribes together.
Her shoulders say
Awesome.
so.
Good. Kitty Sackhoff is just too cool looking to not have her face be seen.
It is time to retake Mandalore.
That's awesome.
Damn. Ooh, nice sting there.
Uh-oh.
Moff.
Don't murk my guy.
Oh, that is an Imperial shuttle.
Nope.
What's left of one?
Oh no. Oh, that's some Ridley Scott shit here.
Yeah.
Let's do a little Dead Space right now. Let's go.
Any reports in the area?
There's a record of a missing craft in the region. The details are classified.
Oh boy.
R7, launch probe.
Oh, no.
Oh, this is suspenseful.
Oh, cool prep.
That's what she said.
I'm sending you a transponder signal.
I don't like this. No, I don't like it.
It's a New Republic prison transport. I'll be damned. Flight times match the ship transporting Moff Gideon.
What do you know?
There don't appear to be any survivors.
Something must remain.
And Moff Gideon's body is missing. There appears to be something embedded in the cabin wall. Getting close on that.
Oh, man.
It's a fragment of Beskar alloy.
Are you saying that Moff Gideon was taken by Mandalorians?
Oh shit.
What? Whoa. Who else do we know out there with some Beskar to spare?
Well,
The Mandalorians who were not with Bo-Katan anymore.
Sure.
could be them. They're also, historically speaking, the Imperial Super Commandos were ex-Mandalorians.
I don't think it's gonna go that path.
What was that?
I don't think it's gonna go that
Well,
path.
you know, a boy can dream. A boy can dream.
All right. Let's chit-chat about it, gang. You are right, Michael. It is Zeb.
My man.
It's Zeb, Steve Blum, and everything.
What an extraordinary live-action appearance of one of my favorite animated Star Wars characters.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, the timeline makes sense.
What does that imply, though? Because he's not with the other rest of the gang. I mean,
Well,
Sabine left off.
Yeah, well,
with Ahsoka, but now I know he'll be. Is he confirmed to be in Ahsoka?
No.
Okay.
No. Well, so last we left off in the epilogue of Rebels, Phoenix Squadron had gone their separate ways. Zeb, his homeworld was destroyed by the Imperials, and one of the big arcs was them finding a new hyperspace lane that led to a new planet where they were able to bring their
This is
species
all
back.
so vaguely familiar.
I know it's in there, Greg. I know it's in there. But
it is.
You know,
I binged like so quick.
Admittedly, I watched Rebels like 4 or 5 times.
To give you an idea of my memory, just to give everyone Breaking Bad, I praise is my favorite show of all time.
Yeah.
I'm watching it for the 3rd time with my wife because she's never seen it. And 90% of the time, I'm like, I don't remember any of this. And that's my favorite show. So, like,
a lot to commit to the old memory bank.
I know.
They jam-packed a lot into Rebels.
That's why my
though,
main
in your
thing is like
defense.
the last. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, last we saw him, he was taking a former ISB officer and showing him the homeworld. And the ISB officer was the one that flipped. Was the double agent. It was just one of my favorite arcs in Rebels. But no, I mean, it makes sense that Zeb would be part of the New Republic. And I thought the live action was just really, really well done. I always was worried about how a Lasat would translate on a live action screen, and
With a very pricey CG effect.
yeah, that's probably the number one reason we won't see Zeb in Ahsoka. But
he weirdly looked taller than I remember him in the show.
I mean,
I know he's taller than everyone else, but he looked even taller than I was like, oh.
You remember Fallen Order,
Yeah.
the Jedi Master
Of Cal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same species. So it's cool. We've now officially seen Lasats.
This is the first live action.
Yeah,
That's
live
pretty cool.
action animation and in a video game. So
I'm sure everyone else has caught that it is Zeb right away too. But like, I just thought it was one of the creatures.
Well, it was for a minute. I was like, "Is it just a Lasat?" And then once you hear the voice, I mean, Steve Blum, just an amazing voice actor all over the place. It was just, I don't know, at moments like that where for those of us that watched Rebels, it's just a really nice payoff and a little homage. Can we talk about yeah, I was going to say, can we
kick us off, John?
Yeah,
kick us off. What do you think?
This is a blast and a half, and this episode had a substantial amount of, I feel like, most of the things that are fun that you want, but also most of the things that by episode 5 of 8 you should feel like there's a direction kind of tying all of them together. So yeah, I thought this was. It's been an interesting season overall. I'm curious to see how they stick the landing, but I appreciated the immediacy of this as well as just the sort of strange and uncomfortable tones that peppered the sort of ending of both the situation with the Mandalorians intervening on the pirates and Bo-Katan and the Armorer having this whole sort of, maybe you should take up the torch exchange. And then are you trying to lift the camera up? Trying to force choke me into.
We have an audio version on our Spotify and stuff, but you guys can't see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So my goal is just to throw John off his game,
Totally.
and you have everyone on the audio side have no idea what's
happening. Why John's trailing.
But yeah, so many disparate threads from both across this season as well as across just the whole show kind of coming into the light. And yeah, you have your sort of micro situation with Grief Karga, the Mandalorians finding hope for the future. I thought was really kind of just a nice cathartic thing. And I like the way that they really kind of wound you up and then gave a nice subversion with Paz Vizsla actually being like, no, we should absolutely take this cause up. I thought that was really kind of rewarding after, kind of exactly what you expect to happen, having happened before, in just him being, sort of naturally in opposition.
That's true.
An interesting Tim Meadows appearance.
Which it worked perfect. I thought that
think so.
it was the perfect character for that exact kind of role.
He's the right.
Yeah.
I'm very fascinated because I've heard at least some vague criticisms of the show at this point being sort of like, okay, we don't really know what the perspective is as we're looking out at the New Republic, at the remnants of the Empire, even the persistence of these Mandalorians and the other, kind of disparate groups across the galaxy, other than like the basics of just like, we want to have our society and live in peace and whatever. So I'm curious to see, because it seems like in casting Tim Meadows here as this New Republic officer, it seems like so many of the New Republic people are a bit dweeby or sad sackish or just ineffectual seeming. And then you've got this guy like Blue who's sort of caught in the middle of it, who's like that beat cop who just wants to actually make a difference and is getting caught up in
such
the
a great
red
way
tape.
to put it.
Yeah, and so like I'm curious to see that theme like be substantially committed to, but I can feel the sort of like seeds of it there.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're describing the birth of the Resistance, which is something that, like, when the sequel films came out, I did not jive with. I was like, this just seems a little. Why have they just kind of thrown in the towel on the New Republic? Why did Leia feel the need to create this like paramilitary organization? And the reason is because the New Republic is absolute garbage from what we've seen, and so I think we're beginning to see the people, historically speaking, after a war, they kind of lose the appetite for fighting, and I think people are just kind of content for a little bit of calm, when in reality, when you're dealing with evil space fascists, you gotta always be vigilant. So, yeah, no, this was such a great episode in that I think Navarro, as we all talked about in the beginning of the season, it was really wonderful to watch the transformation of this planet, and now for the Mandalorians to really kind of plant their flag and have a new home base. The Mandalorians are much more than just Mandalore, as it's kind of been alluded to. It was at one point very much an empire in of itself, with lots of different systems and lots of different planets. And I kind of love the implication that maybe this is the beginning of that. And I think they've really subverted expectation, particularly between the armorer and Bo, which I think all of us really felt strongly they were not going to get along. But I feel like they're, Littlefinger and Varys kind of using each other in a poetic way to achieve a means to an end. But like Bo-Katan is a really controversial, like, I love her, but might not be the one to actually make this happen. And I'm beginning to think that they are going to die a heroic death that will lead to the return of the Mandalorians, truly. But I do not see a world in which they are actually capable of leading the Mandalorians. So, yeah, Greg, what did you think?
I got no thoughts. That was a slog. Tough to sit through.
Yeah.
No stakes.
No stakes.
You're just Baby Yoda on Din's lap the whole time going,
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with everyone's sentiments here. I do like how they handled it. There's something about the scenes, though, with the armor and Bo-Katan that I feel like they purposely play up a little. Even now, it's like there's something leading in that feels like a dark presence is looming amongst in the atmosphere between their conversations. Until she goes out there to talk and talks about hey, let's accept the fact that we got kind of different denominations, and it's just about everyone coming together, and it's not about which religion is the proper way to go about it.
We're all Christians, guys.
Well, I was gonna. It does give a lot of those crusade type vibes, where it's like, all right, Orthodox and Catholics, we're just gonna remember that the Muslims are in Jerusalem. And
well, what happens though when you're dealing with very passionate people, though, people like Vizsla, whoever Bo-Katan decides to bring by, is I guess I'm wondering if Star Wars is gonna chicken out and not actually do something interesting with different ideologies. And like Vizsla was a little bit surprised to see her helmet was off, but is that going to create a ripple effect of distrust, especially with their mantra being so much of being this is the way, with this being a specific way to live, and fucking what Din just had to go through just to get back in. How can they accept the fact that there's other man? And will the show do that, or are they going to be like, no, we're just hopeful and nice, and we're going to be coming together?
Yeah. Well, I think it's this idea of conversion where they're welcome to come into the fold, also bathe in the living waters of the mines of Mandalore, and then at that point be able to walk the way. But in order to get them there, you've got to get them there. And I think there is a surprising amount of wisdom coming from a cult leader in the form of the armorer in trying to bring in the night owls and any other kind of Mandalorians. I agree with you. The tone, it always feels so sinister and dark. And it feels like the Mandalorians are just like doomed to repeat their history over and over and over again. And, what kind of preceded all of this was, Bo-Katan's sister, who was part of like the peace-loving Mandalorians who tried to break that cycle, and it worked out so well for them. And so, yeah,
I know who you're talking about. You're talking about Duchess Satine.
Yeah, Obi-Wan
the
Kenobi's
pacifist one of the Mandalorians, and it created a whole problem for everyone.
Yeah, it sure did. Got killed by
I remember
Darth
that.
Maul.
Not Zeb.
The only thing that matters.
Well, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi is the father of the confusing nephew of Bo-Katan and the Duchess.
Sure. Damn, a lot of the directors were fucking in this episode. Huh?
I want one episode where only the directors.
This is Filoni, Famua, and Chow are all in this episode.
Yeah. Where's Bryce Dallas Howard? Where's Robert Rodriguez?
That was wild. I just noticed that right now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, but as an episode as a whole, I thought while it was very entertaining, there is something about when you're translating live. Like, have the pirates ever been in Clone Wars or Rebels? I don't recall.
Not those particular
not
pirates.
Not these like Bane and all that.
Piracy as a concept exists.
But with these guys, as much as they were like blowing up Navarro and stuff, the episode itself didn't as big and scoping, as beautiful as a lot of these shots were. I like more of the context of where it all led us to. I felt more tension and suspense and stakes in like the last minute of this episode, and the dread space moment than anything dealing with the pirates.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And that's something that I feel like this ought to have had. It does, and that's why I'm kind of hoping that we're 5 episodes in, and they tease something that feels off about these conversations, like one of them's manipulating the other. It just seems that way. I don't know if we're reading into it, but they play some dark ass music and they talk slow to each other. It's suspicious.
If they don't, it's a waste.
Yeah,
that's an absolute.
If it's a fake out, it would be a bit of a drag.
No, instead of just like we all get along, hooray. I think they're building to something that is going to be a little sinister. And is it just going to be something as simple as, the Empire is lurking in the shadows again? They're on the rise. You got someone in the New Republic who they think is reformed or liberated, but she's really helping to, string things up. Yeah. We have that going on. We got Moff who's been broken out. Who else might be siding with the dark side? Right, as the First Order, blah, blah, blah. And then Mandalorians, they fight alongside them. But where were they in the sequel trilogy? Do they all die by the end? Is that where we're going with this? Is that they all band together? Because I like it when it's more intimate and personal with them. And I think that that was one thing. Is like this episode was really fun. But it did lack a certain substance of emotional weight rather than just like I like the context a lot.
I think that's been a challenge that they've had since bringing all the Mandalorians together. It's almost like these victories feel a little bit too inevitable, and because of that, the stakes are never really as high as they should be. I mean that last 2 minutes of the episode, I think a lot of that tension is because it captures a lot of the tone of something like Andor, where it's a. I mean, it's like it's one of the things that I love about The Mandalorian. It's one of the things that I hate about The Mandalorian. It's that there's this constant desire to emulate like the fantastical craziness of something like the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always translate to live action, and sometimes those darker, more grounded live action moments just feel a lot heavier, and like the stakes are there.
Yeah, this season has so far felt like it's bigger and way more action. It's been feeling that way, like it's bigger and way more action. Yet it hasn't felt as within its action scenes as truly emotionally gripping. Even in the way of like when the Ahsoka Tano's return episode, the one that like really felt like it was riffing on like Seven Samurai in a way. Even though I don't know these people and everything, there's a certain mood about it where you're like, this is captivating, and here you're just like, this is big and cool.
Yeah,
you know.
And there's a quality too where like during this episode, I did find myself getting distracted, going like, okay, while you guys are sitting around, while you're flying across the galaxy to get approval for this backup, and while you Mandalorians are arguing about whether or not to go to Navarro in the first place, these pirates can decimate anything that matters kind of immediately. And when they get there, you have this like little pocket of all of them, and they kind of get out of town. And you get the sense, like, yeah, they've destroyed stuff, but you don't feel the true harsh, like they're just massacring innocent people, and you don't really have that flavor actually present in the episode. And so,
well, that's why I was likening it to the Ahsoka episode,
Sure,
because that's the first time you check in with them, and it just seems like such a bleak, miserable situation.
Yeah,
and here this still feels bright and colorful.
I mean, I think we described it best. I mean, it was like the Pirates of the Caribbean pillage sequence, and like where it's like weirdly kind of fun. Like, oh, look at this occupation and the salacious crumbs getting shot at.
I didn't get a true sense of the suffrage.
Yeah.
Well, and there's also a thing too that there's like a true sense of the suffering and just the sheer harshness of like, this is like they don't adhere to any law, but this is like a war crime of massive proportions, essentially. But also, I think there is a certain thing that, to me, it makes me curious, because I think there's a potential for the show to be at odds with itself in the fact that when the show was just about Din Djarin, I feel like you can have your Mandalorian cake a little bit and eat it too, in the sense that you have all the mystique, but you don't necessarily have to confront it as head on as you do when you have them all together and trying to like reform their whole culture and society, because the Mandalorian culture is one wrought on like violence and all sorts of conquest and things that are like really dark and hard to rectify in a way that's like a really easy to root for protagonist situation.
Yeah. Ideal for Disney Plus.
Yeah, and so I feel like even though it is like fun and interesting to watch them rebuild, at the same time I'm like, how much is this show going to have to kneecap itself from the true potential of what's really interesting about that without nerfing the Mandalorians or like creating this weird face turn that doesn't quite jibe with the rest of the galaxy?
I'm going to make a weird comparison here. I feel like The Walking Dead had the same exact issue. In the early seasons, it was really intimate and personal, and then it wanted to evolve into a very different type of show, where all of a sudden there's like settlements and factions, and it's much bigger, and it never really knew how to make that transition. And I feel like this season, I hope, is the growing pains of them figuring that out, and that they do figure it out by next season, because the stakes are much higher than just Din and Grogu. And I think that, kudos to them for being brave enough to try. And I think I'm going to have nothing but faith and optimism in our Lord and Savior.
I still quite like, I just think the first and this episode were the ones that I like this more than the first episode.
Yeah.
I do. It's just more like, this was fun with a very interesting last few minutes.
Yeah,
with
really
the armor.
intriguing.
With the armor and stuff. But yeah, there is a lack of tension.
Yeah,
the most tense
when there should be tension in a lot of even the scene when you had, oh my God, wait a minute, I have the cast list right here. What is his name? What's the Asian guy's name?
Oh,
Blue?
he kept saying it. Blue for sure.
Blue?
Yeah, it's called
nickname
Blue.
It's something
is
with a
Blue.
C.
Yeah.
It's oh boy.
Crimson? No. Chris.
I'll look him up. Chris Pine.
Chris something. Well, anyway, with that scene with Blue and
Carson.
Carson. You're right about that. Yeah, Carson. With Carson and Tim Meadows and the girl from the episode that was divisive for people that I loved.
I second that.
I love
That
that
was
episode.
the most tense and most sort of intimately perilous feeling.
I
episode.
love that
The
episode.
Mandalorian.
Yeah, that one.
Mandor.
But yeah, I thought that that scene too was like, this is kind of like moving. It's like the first episode for me. This is moving a little quick. This is moving a little too quick for me.
Yeah,
It's not tense enough.
It's those
It is-
multiple POVs, and it's that transition to that type of show that is just. I cannot imagine how that writer's room, like their formula, they just had to throw out this season.
But I think the second and third episode were fucking fantastic. I do.
Yeah.
I think the second and third episode were really
well,
fantastic.
they
stuff.
weren't afraid to be intimate
And
focused.
what episode was this? The fourth?
Fifth.
What was the fourth episode? It's all blurry. Shit, what happened last week?
Finding out who saved Grogu.
Oh, yeah.
and,
that was
Suck going home.
that was a blast of an episode.
Yeah.
Sure.
What
and
else?
then
That was one where I was like, it was just a pure blast. But yeah.
Yeah,
them getting back from.
Yeah.
I think that's
But that is
the
also
challenge.
a really quick episode.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
There's a lot in it. Yeah.
This is an interestingly shaped and tonally paced.
You think it would be more focused and breathe better, considering how serialized it is?
I
but
feel
yeah.
like there was a shortage of Adderall in the writers' room this season.
Yeah,
like,
It feels a
definitively.
little Ryan Murphy.
Yeah, but you know what? It's still so fun.
True.
And that's what Star Wars is at its core. Fun to the point where you're angry about it.
Because you're not having the right kind
Yeah.
of fun that I'm having.
Final thoughts.
Please,
Final
because
fun.
it's been 23 minutes.
Yeah, this was a good talk. The Beskar alloy at the end. I feel like you might be onto something with it being the night owls and those kind of abandoned bow. But part of me also wonders, like, this guy occupied Mandalore and had access to, like, Beskar. I wonder if there is some cool stuff that we haven't seen yet.
True.
So, and
I like cool stuff.
for the Rebels fans, just throwing out my last little nerdy tidbit here, but, like, I also wouldn't be surprised if, the Gar Saxon's relatives, who was the Imperial Mandalorian, there were Imperial Mandalorians, and I don't want to write that off because I feel like, as you talked about the different sects of the Mandalorian culture, that would be really neat to show that that was, part of what played a role in the downfall of Mandalore. So, final takes.
Show's coming a bit MCU-ish.
Come on, Zeb.
with Space Whales at the beginning. Anyway, guys, thanks for being here. What did you think about the episode, though? Please leave your
Yeah.
thoughts down below.
I'll respond.
Follow Michael. Check us on Patreon. Get that Daddy shirt. Also, listen to the Patreon.
Everett Pixelmite Baker, my dude, listen up. There are so many people that would be the de facto, person that we would heap the mantle of the Reject Nation on, who walk both worlds, and you, I think, are the most resilient person to do that for us, because you here walk two identities. You have Everett Baker, mild-mannered citizen of the world, just out here supporting their favorite channels. But within, you have Pixelmite, who knows the potential of what you could do with power based in pixels are the foundations of the modern world, man. We do everything on pixelated displays. Every image you see is an amalgamation of smaller bits and pieces, and that is the power, the strength that exists within you. So let it free. And maintain your pledge to the Patreon, because that's like the living water. That's how you keep your, creed status in good standing, in good faith with us. But other than that,
Don't be an apostate.
Don't be an apostate, and chuck your prostate, because physical health is also a good thing,
Can confirm.
Love you, Everett. Stay well, and we'll catch you for an even better, more coherent shout out next month. Love you, buddy.
See you, buddy.